At 10. Okay, guys. So, yeah, we are here at the Whitney ISD. The intermediate school is over there. This is the admin building and the tax office. The city has chosen this as the place to do the recount. It legally starts at 10 o'clock, so we've got 4 minutes. And we will not be in the room at all. We will be 30 feet away from the door to the room. So this is the boardroom. They're actually doing it down at that end. This is the do not enter sign. And this is 30 feet away from that. That's the main door right there. So we are set up 30 feet away. I measured it. You guys know I've got the measuring tape for electioneering. So we are basically just going to wait. This is the wait and find out game. And I know that Zach is here. I've seen, I know Gary is here. Gary's a watcher for Zach. Ken Scales is a watcher for Zach. They are both in the room. Meg from the Secretary of State's office is in the room and making sure that everything's going to be fine. So this is just about making sure that basically the two undervotes that are on the election report are actual undervotes. So this is, this is the election report that was canvassed, the unofficial results. We've only got 1,400 and, what is that? Let's look, there it is. 1,414 registered voters. And we had 190 ballots cast. And in the mayor race, there were 3 candidates. And 2 undervotes. Those were done during early voting. And we're only recounting the mayor race. This was our other city race, Whitney City Council, and it was close too. This was a pick 2 race, so the percentage is a little bit off. But Sam and I were very, very close. But we had a lot more undervotes. So the ballot patterns would be really interesting to check out. And we can do that on the 61st day after the election to view public ballots. Or the public can view the ballots. So this is just waiting. I have my computer. So if you have any questions, I will be on my laptop. Now, if you're curious about recounts, you can go on here, you can just Google Texas recount law, and you can read the entire procedures to request and conduct a recount. because not just anybody can request a recount. You have to be a candidate. In a bond, you have to have 25 people attest that they want to see the recount called. But in order to attend and observe a recount on a bond, you have to have a specific purpose pack that is already on record and filed with TEC as having advocated for or against a measure. And they're the only ones that can appoint watchers in a recount for a measure. Are you looking for something specific?
No, I just had some questions about the recount happening. Just when that was going to be finished and where the results were going to be.
You're the press.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so first come down here a little bit. The recount has officially started.
Okay.
It's 10 o'clock. So they are very, very strict about who can be in the room. We have to be 30 feet from a door. Technically, they're down at that far blue double door.
Okay.
But there's a big do not enter on this door also.
Did see that.
So
yeah.
I've got my 100-foot measuring tape. We
Okay.
measured out 30 feet, basically the bathroom right there. But the tax office is still open, so I moved a little bit further back so we're out of the way of tax office
Okay.
customers. It could be a couple hours.
Okay.
It could be a couple hours. I know Rhonda Bass is out there. Did you meet Zach's mom?
No, I did not.
Hi.
Fellow 25 News.
So Zach is the candidate that called the recount, the
Yes.
petition for the recount.
Mhm.
This is his mom. So it's been a very emotional last couple of years. There's a lot of comments within the city.
Yes.
A couple of people that are already kicking themselves that they did not vote. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, we should find out. I know that the Texas Secretary of State has somebody in there.
Okay.
So the results are going to be pretty much indisputable after this. And the biggest thing is just there's 2 undervotes. Are the 2 undervotes legit undervotes where nobody voted for mayor and they're completely blank, or is it just somebody who circled someone's name? Because if a voter circled a name, which the law calls an irregularly marked ballot, then the recount chair has the authority of a judge to determine, to ascertain, is the legal term, to ascertain the intent of the voter. And in this case, if they circle Zach's name, that puts us in a tie. And as a general law city, we can't just have a runoff between the top 2 people. It's a plurality election, so whoever gets the most votes wins. But if it goes to a tie, we have 2 options. We can order a new runoff election, or we can cast lots, flip a coin. I don't think we're going to be doing flipping a coin.
Okay. Wow.
Because it's
Who would order that?
the city council.
Council would.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be one of the first votes that I would do as new city council person. That would be a yes vote. So that's what we're looking at, and they have 190 ballots to count, and it's I don't know if you've ever seen a recount before.
Have not.
It's really fascinating. We were in one for, I had run for school board in Waxahachie, and somebody was mad because it was a bullet vote where you can select 2 people, right? And they were like, well, that guy only won because he told people to only vote for him, and he told people to not cast their second vote. I'm like, that's called bullet voting. It's okay. It's okay to do that. I think that's wrong. I was like, you know what? I said, he goes, I want to hear those ballots. I says, I'll tell you what. I says, I lost big time. I says, I am not going to find any other votes, and everybody knows that. I says, but if the community has questions about the process, let's do a recount. And so I called a recount, and yeah, because the box is locked, and they open the box, and they're reading the order. You can't just open. Accessing a ballot box is like a huge deal. So even Christy, as the recount supervisor, has to read into the record. This is why we're opening this box, and there's everybody there, and someone has the custodian of keys, and they open the box and they take the ballots out. And all the paper ballots. I was like, I had like goosebumps. So it was neat. And in that election, there was a ballot where where the counter, because they pick it up, they try not to handle the ballots any more than necessary. So they pick it up and he reads it and they're like, Autry, and then he picks one up and he goes, We're like, what? And he goes, okay, this ballot would have been considered an overvote by the machine because the voter started to mark a spot and then decisively chose two others. But because the intent of the voter was clear to ascertain, then those two candidates got a bump in their election result.
So both of them got a count.
Both of them got a count. It did not change the result of the election.
Right.
But it changed the numbers. So that ballot, that voice was counted and heard and documented.
Okay.
So, and it's like, I posted on Facebook and said, there's two undervotes. It says, if they are legit undervotes, they are going to stay blank.
Okay.
They will stay blank.
Okay.
No one's going to bubble them in. No one's going to touch that ballot, unless there's something else. If they wrote, I want Janice on the top of their ballot, that's voter intent, no matter what the machine said as or counted it. So yeah, in the state of Texas, having an electric machine involved in the election is automatic grounds for a recount, which is why I was able to call a recount.
Okay.
Patchy.
Okay.
Even though I didn't, because otherwise you have to lose by come within 10% of winning to be able to call a recount. The winning candidate can't always call a recount. Any loser candidate can't just call a recount. But if there was an electronic machine used in the process, then a recount is automatically granted.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't know that. Texas.
Yeah. So it's been a learning process. We're all learning a lot
Yeah.
here.
You really don't learn much about it until it's actually happening. And
Exactly.
then you're following along the process, and definitely learning a lot.
So yeah, this is a hurry up and wait game. So yeah, there's 190 ballots, and they will pick up each ballot. They'll read it aloud. The watchers can see the ballots. And stand
wonderful.
over the shoulders and see the ballots.
Okay.
The tabulators are sitting there with pencils and paper, and they're tallying the results. And every time they cross to 5, they'll both say cross. And in Waxahachie, one of them didn't say cross, and then it was like, whoa, stop the process. So then they have to back up and see where
They missed their
somebody
mark.
missed a mark somewhere. So it's really, really, really specific, and it can be slow. So 190 ballots, if you're doing a couple ballots a minute kind of thing.
I already had 2 hours.
Yeah, I said about 2 hours.
That was great.
I think about 2 hours. Could be 3. And it's like if there is a disputed ballot, then the watchers can make a copy of the ballot, and that can go to a judge outside, district court judge or something, which would be Justin Lewis, I think, in this case.
Okay.
So, but yeah, what I expect is that there will be 2 undervotes counted. Everybody will see that it was really 2 undervotes, and we'll have a canvassed election result on Thursday. Maybe not Thursday. I think they have to call a new meeting.
Oh, will
Because
they?
you have to have the 72-hour notice.
Okay.
for that.
But they will know today.
They should know today, unless those 2 ballots are just really weird. It's Whitney.
Right.
We're already within 1 vote, and it's already flipped from.
Yes.
And that was the other thing with provisional votes. It was 2 provisional votes that flipped the election night results, and so everybody's like, where did these ballots come from? And that's another part of the process that is normal, expected. We knew that there were provisional ballots ready to count, but the city secretary went ahead and called everybody, including me, and congratulated us. And I was like, but Christy, there's still ballots to count.
And those ones really matter.
We don't know. It's like in the city council race, Sam had until Friday Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He had until Friday to petition for a recount in the council race. Because there's a ton of undervotes in that one. This is the canvass election results. And this shows us that there were 1,414 registered voters, 13.44%. That's high for a May election. but 190 ballots, and this is 2 undervotes in the mayor race. And on here, Sam got 76, I ended up with 79, but there's 62 undervotes. A lot of those are probably for Jason, but and I say undervotes for, but that's just that's who they chose,
Right.
and they only cast 1 vote allowed. So that's that part. But that would be interesting to see. And the really cool part, I as a political nerd, I really am interested in seeing the voting patterns on a ballot, because the provisional votes, I have been a vocal opponent of the current administration, but the 2 provisional votes that were counted, both of them went for Janice, and both of them voted for me.
Oh, the same ballot.
Yes. 2 ballots. Janice got 2 extra. I got 2 extra.
Interesting. That's almost.
It's really weird, and that's why I tell people you cannot assume anything that what the voters are thinking. You have to go talk to them. And you have to talk to them about all these different things, and find out. Well, what did you like about her? What did you like about me? And how can we use this information moving forward in governing the city?
That's very interesting.
Yeah. And it's like I've told people right now, Janice did not get a majority. 60% of the city voted against her. Now, 60% of the city also didn't vote for Zach, but he wasn't in office. And there is a difference. There is a difference in whether you're voting for the incumbent or for challengers. And right now, 60% of the city wanted somebody different in that position. So this is where Janice, even if she wins, she probably needs to take that to heart and think about how she's going to govern the city in the next 2 years.
Next, how many? 2? I thought I said 4.
Oh,
I thought it was 2. I thought it was 2.
But the other really crazy part here is we have 3 city council spots up next May. And so this is a high turnout. I'm shooting for 20% next time. And because we did a ton of block walking to get that 13%. But we have 3 council spots open. That's and whoever wins that's gonna decide, because the mayor doesn't vote.
Right.
And so if she wants certain things to happen, she has to have the support of the council. And so if we've got 4 people up there that are gonna say, whoa, then this is gonna be a very contested election. It's gonna be very heated, I think. Especially based on what we've seen as far as what candidates say and have said, and the incumbents have said. So for me, I told people, I said, I want you guys to walk out of that room and say, I watched your votes get counted, and they were counted dramatic. So I'm like, as many eyes as we can get in that room, go for it.
Yeah. How many watchers are there?
The only ones I know for sure are Ken Scales and Gary Teal, my husband.
Okay.
So, Ken has been in the community for the last 10 years. He's been really vocal on Facebook. My husband has been involved in analyzing elections since he was in high school. He's 65. Back in 2010, he went over to Afghanistan, and worked with them over there to set up their election process. So, he's really big on voter lists, voter processes, and stuff like that. He served as presiding central count judge in Hill County a couple of times, and he's done all kinds. He's a Republican Party cat. He really is. He was the Bear County Republican Party executive director and the Travis County Republican Party executive director.
Bear County in San Antonio. My parents live in Bear County. They only moved there a couple years ago, but that's funny. Yeah, they're in Bear County.
It's a small town. It's a small world.
We were pronouncing it wrong when they first moved there because
Bexar.
Yeah.
Because the X. Yeah, Bexar County and Llano, Texas, and Wasatch. But Whitney, we don't have too many problems with our pronunciation.
No, not too many.
So we've got eyes in there. Secretary of State has eyes in there.
Okay.
And it's like, we rolled a printer in, because if you have a disputed ballot and the recount chair doesn't want to count, and this was another interesting thing, I got a call from the elections administrator for Hill County on Sunday. And I had said that if the recount chair sees that someone has circled a name, then they can add that to the vote totals, because the intent is clear. And they called me and they're like, "You need to correct that, because the machine decided the voter intent when they cast their ballot." I'm like, "That's not accurate." But they kind of doubled down on that, so that's one of the reasons we have Secretary of State in there today.
Okay.
But if the recount chair sees a name circled and says, "Nope, that's an undervote," then we're going to dispute that ballot, and in that case, we can make a copy of the ballot. So we were rolling a printer in there, and they were like, "We can't have a printer." And then the Secretary of State says, "Yes, you can." So the Secretary of State knows the law, and we'll make sure that everything's taken care of. So if there's any missteps, because you're right, recount stuff. Nobody knows this stuff until you're really in the middle of it.
Exactly.
And so it's nice to have somebody in there that's done this, knows it, and can keep everybody assured, and they're an unbiased voice, and they know the law.
Yeah.
So the Texas Secretary of State has like a representative in there, someone.
Yes, a state
The
investigator.
state, okay.
Yeah. And I believe she's a trainer, so not just investigator, she's a trainer.
We could grab that bench
I know,
over
I
here.
know. Yeah, I asked her, "Is it okay if I move that bench?" And she goes, "Well, our tax office customers often use the bench if they have to come in and sit down, and we have a lot of older demographic."
Yeah.
There's another one over there.
I know,
Yeah, we hate to do anything that causes ruckus
I
right
know,
now.
that's right. Sorry, thank you. So yeah, I'm streaming a closed door because we are not allowed in the recount room. And
Okay, where's the closed door? Oh, I see it now.
yeah, there's
By
a
the
closed
clock.
door there, and you got two closed doors. The recount is mostly happening down at that end of the boardroom, but it goes all the way up and here. In fact, during a school board meeting, we're usually entering through this blue door right over here. And there's not a distance requirement, so for those, if it's during closed session, I'm down here. But so yeah, that's basically what we've got. This is a copy I made to check the printer. You can have that.
Cool, thank you.
That's what we canvassed. So yeah, we are. What time is it? 10:18. We're only 20 minutes into this, guys.
Does this building have Wi-Fi for the public to use?
No, but you can use mine if you want to.
Oh, WISD guest. Do you think?
It's not that great.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't really. I've never gotten it to work. If you can get it to work, go for it.
I don't want to bring my computer out for a bit, but I've definitely had trouble around here with service in certain
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah, you are welcome to use my
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
Thank you.
My hotspot.
So what are they doing in the gymnasium?
I think they're doing some sort of awards ceremonies and stuff like
I
that.
just see people signing in.
Yeah. It's like, at least I've been trying to focus on the doors and not
Exactly, not
the
that.
gym.
Mhm.
And, they did ask me, if we have some kids coming around the hall, can we stop the stream? And so I'll just basically be,
Doing that.
yep, kids are going through the hall, so just look at these results again. Everybody's been studying them for the last 2 weeks. But yeah, and this is the great part is, even though I know that, we're not seeing anything in the room,
Right.
but you know, a live stream is just a good way to help get more people paying attention. They can ask questions in the stream. They can hear the explanations. They can go back and review it. They can see that, you know, ballot boxes are not being trucked into the room, and so.
You're fine, come on. Oh.
Just wave. Yeah. And so,
Oh no.
I don't think I even saw that. You know, I had 5 kids, so I get it. You know, there's something about watching, you know, you look across the room and you see this little head bobbing behind the couch because they're running across the room, and then it goes, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Like, you okay?
Kids luckily they're low to the ground.
You're not in the stream yet.
Good, thank God. I'm trying to dodge it.
I know. See, that was just proof that, you know, Rudy did not just come out of the room.
I didn't.
Exactly. So nobody can say that it's Rudy's fault.
Wouldn't be the first time. That's why I have broad shoulders.
Is that right? That's right.
You have to.
No kidding. Oil yourself down, right?
That's funny. What time are they supposed to be done?
There is not a set time. I'm guessing about a couple hours. They have 190 ballots to count. They'll be very deliberate in how they count them. They can't just sort them into stacks. They have to call out each one, tabulate it. The tabulators have to make sure every like 5 or 10 tally marks that they're correct. So
After it's done, is anyone, is someone from the city or anyone gonna come and kind of talk about what's going on, or
they probably
they're just gonna kind of
they
post
probably were not
results?
planning to.
Okay.
But I did ask Gary and Zach and Ken to come out and tell us,
And talk
while
about
it's
it.
fresh in their mind,
Okay.
tell us what you saw. I said, I expect every single one of you to come out here and say, we watched them count your votes. Your votes mattered, and the count is correct.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I was kind of hoping for someone who would.
I know
try
that
more
my
ballots
husband will
happening.
at least be ready to come out and talk. I don't know if Christy will or not.
Okay. We got our little makeshift press area over here.
Yeah.
We need to move that bench over here.
Well, I asked him about that, but she said, well, we have tax people come in, and sometimes they'll sit on the bench and wait, or they're older, so they'll just kind of talk to them while they're sitting on the bench. And I was like, okay. That one is on camera.
Slippery or something.
She's a new person.
They're not picking their feet up.
She's a new little person with little legs. She's still learning how to use them. It's okay.
Those shoes just get to dragging. Oh, yeah.
Does Janice have washers in there?
I was supposed to be in there, but I was running late.
You can be in there, I think. You can knock on the door if you have your certificate of appointment. I don't know if they, I'd have to double check. Hang on. If only somebody had the law here. Let me see.
Good morning.
Find my papers. I made a nice little notebook for Gary, but make a notebook for me.
Yeah? Yeah.
Good morning.
I think it would be fine for you to knock on the door.
I'm not gonna go, you go knock on the
It's
door.
I don't have a certificate of appointment. You have more authority to go knock on that door than I do.
I'd rather not.
Okay. But this is what I tell people, it's like, you can ask, you can knock, and if they're not gonna open the door, your knock will go unheeded. And if they say, oh yeah, that is a certain, you know, then they'll check who you are, and if you have, they'll say, yeah, come on in. But, I mean, it's kind of hard to jump in midway anyway,
Yeah.
because you miss a lot of the
Yeah, I'm on.
key part. But the Secretary of State said, I'm not worried.
Okay. You're in a small community.
I know.
I'm not gonna go now.
Yeah. So, and for anybody wondering what I was just talking about, you can go to the Secretary of State's website and you can print out procedures to request and conduct a recount. And I mean, yeah, I don't see anything specifically about and who may be present about a specific time, but I'll look around a little bit more. So yeah, this is another PowerPoint that's online. You can find preparing for and conducting a recount. And this is more like a presentation. So it's a whole bunch of pages of PowerPoint type of stuff. And must be qualified voter. Nope. And procedural issues. I didn't see anything about time.
I'm gonna have to go find me a bucket.
Right? I thought about throwing a chair in the van. 7 of you people tuned in watching a closed door. 10:30. All right. So this page is from procedures to request and conduct a recount. Number 19, section 19, canvassing following a recount. If the recount changes the number of votes, regardless of a change in the outcome, the canvassing authority must conduct a canvass for the office or measure involved as soon as practicable after completion of the recount. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We would not have time to do it on Thursday. We would not have time to give 72 hours notice. So it would have to be either probably Friday or Monday.
You don't have a stove or anything out there?
If anybody watching is in the city of Whitney and would like to bring up like 3 or 4 folding chairs, it'd be kind of cool.
Do you think we could talk to anyone from administration about getting maybe some folding chairs or any sort of little thing?
I would go down. Is that a superintendent's office down there?
Yes.
I would go talk to her.
Go talk to her. Okay. Is that gonna be okay if I'm closer to
You're going to address something, and
Okay.
you're on record as going to address something specifically
Okay.
that is a known issue, so
Okay.
it'll be okay.
Sounds good. I'll go see what I can do.
And if you veer to the doors, I'm gonna run down there. They might be in the ceremony. I just heard all the clapping.
I have to go down there and help her.
Is anyone else coming that you guys know of?
I think Rhonda Bass is outside.
So I think maybe 4 please. Just in case one more person shows up, we'll have that. In the box out of the way. School's out, right? So it won't be, it'll be fine.
And there aren't classes over here.
Okay.
Honey, thank you.
Are you planning on staying until tonight's time? Oh,
Her guy
King
is in there.
There's King of Cans coming up.
Yeah. Oh. Is it over already?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is it over already?
You want me to? Yes.
Go for it.
We had the recount. Everybody did their job seamlessly. All votes were counted. I stood next to the tabulation and watched every ballot. I watched every hash mark put on the sheet. It was clear, precise, and it is now over that Janice did win by one vote. There were two undervotes. Both of them were clearly undervotes. There was no mark whatsoever near anybody's name. So this is a message to everybody that every vote counts. Every vote counts. And next cycle, we need everybody to get out and help us change this city. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you,
Thank
Ken.
you, Ken.
Okay, you heard it from one of the most vocal people in the city of Whitney. So yes, early voting next year starts April 20th, and election day will be May 2nd, I
It's
think.
quite amazing. It's an
So yeah,
amazing
April
process.
20th, and the deadline to file, there are 3 city council races up in May 2026. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and,
Overwhelmingly professional. I mean, the way they're under lock and key until everybody's in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it's quite something to witness. And it's our process, and you know we have to abide by that. But it went very well, and like I say, never done it before. Great learning experience for me.
yeah, really seeing the process of democracy.
The progress of democracy.
Everything that we don't get to witness every day.
And it came down to those 2 provisional votes, which showed up again in an envelope from Hill County. So I made sure it was the same votes. I looked at the votes, and I'd seen them before, and I knew it was them. So it is what it is. We gave it a good try. We ran a good race.
I'm not done yet.
And do what?
We're not done yet.
We're not done yet. So, you know, there's an election every year.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps again.
There they go.
There they go. That's pretty great. And now they stay under lock and key, because if there's any sort of legal challenge, they're still, yeah,
For 90
yeah.
days.
So the process technically still isn't over. There's still a lot of law about how ballots are handled. Hey, Zach.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Mom.
Zach Hammond.
Bella, nice to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you.
Yeah, come stand by your son. Give him a big hug. He just sat through a huge process.
It's all right. It's all right. We're okay. We're just fine. So,
Yeah.
yep. Hey, we ran. We fought a hard race. I'm proud of my team and everybody that was involved. I appreciate everybody's love and support. It means the world to me. It unfortunately did not change the result. It didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but that's okay. Doesn't change who we are. Doesn't change our integrity and the way that we view life. And so we're going to continue to move forward. And also, this is just a chance to inform everybody that, hey, every single vote counts, right? And so we were 1 vote shy, or 2 votes shy, I'll say, but that's all right. We're going to run again in 2027. We may actually even run again for city council in 2026. And so mark your calendars right now. I need everybody to mark your calendars right now. April 20th is the first day of early voting for the city council race, and I plan to be on that ticket. So everybody who supported me this time, I pray and hope that you would support me again on this journey. And I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who voted for me this year. And hey, it's not over yet. The fight's not done, and we still want to make a difference. So I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all.
You bet.
Thank you, Zach.
Gary, you were in there. Are you giving a similar
It's all right.
recount?
It's all right.
You are.
So, hey, just the way these things go sometimes.
All right. Okay, so that's it. That's it for us. And we'll see you guys at the city council meeting on Thursday is the next time I'll be live. Okay, bye.